On Sunday, the 26th of November, EU leaders of the remaining 27 member states unanimously agreed to ratify Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit agreement, negotiated between the European Union and the British government.
This has been a 19-month ordeal and is by no means the end of Brexit, with fierce debate, protests and numerous top-level resignations along the way.
It is still not even known whether the deal will be passed by Parliament, the final hurdle before it can be signed into law. Many MPs on both sides of the chamber having voiced their frustrations to the argument.
But what is stipulated within Theresa May's deal, and what does this mean for the UK moving forward? Some of the key points taken from the Brexit agreement include a financial settlement, which is often referred to as a divorce bill, of between £36 and £39 billion. The UK will pay this fee to cover all of its financial obligations to the EU.
EU citizens remaining in the UK and conversely UK citizens remaining in the EU will maintain their existing residency rights, but the big questions still do remain about a host of issues. These include the rights of UK citizens to work across borders elsewhere in the European Union, outside of their country of residence.
A transition period is due to begin on 29th of March 2019, the day the UK provisionally will leave the EU. This will be a 21-month timeline during which the UK will continue to follow all EU laws. This has been negotiated in order to give governments and businesses more time to prepare for long-term economic changes. If negotiated before July 2020, there is also scope for an agreement to be made by both sides to increase this transition period by an indefinite amount of time.
On the issue of Northern Ireland, if a so-called backstop is needed, it will take the form of temporary customs union, encompassing not just Northern Ireland, but the whole of the UK. This has been described within the agreement as a single customs territory. However, should the backstop be triggered, Northern Ireland would be in a deeper customs relationship with the EU than the rest of the UK, and more closely tied to the rules of the EU single market. The document also includes details of terms on which the UK may be able to leave this temporary customs arrangement in the future. It concludes that the backstop would only cease to apply if the European Union and the United Kingdom decide jointly that it is no longer necessary. Legally, this means the UK will not be able to leave the agreement without agreement from the 27 EU member states. But what has been the reaction to the agreement?
The 585-page document that makes up the Brexit agreement had finally been approved after a cabinet meeting on Wednesday, the 21st of November, although it proved to be inherently controversial among some cabinet ministers. The Brexit Secretary, Dominic Raab, Work and Pensions Secretary Esther McVeigh, alongside junior ministers Suella Braverman and Shailesh Vara, resigned in protest of the agreement.
Furthermore, at least 23 MPs, including Jacob Rees-Mogg, have also sent letters of no confidence in the Prime Minister to the Conservative 1922 Committee of Backbenchers, chaired by Graham Brady. Although Mr Brady has said that the 48 signatures needed for a vote of no confidence in Theresa May has not yet been achieved.
Such events have been seen by some as a huge blow to the Prime Minister in her ability to be able to push her deal through Parliament. Others have praised her for her tenacity, including Scottish Conservative leader Ruth Davidson, in reaching what Theresa May has termed the best agreement possible for the British people.
The next step for the Prime Minister will be attempting to pass the UK withdrawal bill through Parliament, but it is understood that some 80 to 90 Conservative MPs are willing to defy the government in its attempts. Should the bill not pass, calls for a second referendum by Remainers will only intensify, and a black and white scenario of a hard Brexit versus second referendum could very much become a reality. And this is all tied up in whether Theresa May can survive the backlash of internal party politics. However, whether you're a supporter or you disagree, what we do know is that an agreement with the European Union on the terms of Britain's withdrawal has been agreed.
What happens next, as has been the case for most of the Brexit timeline, is anybody's guess.